Okay, so today we're going to dive into a concept that on the surface sounds incredibly bleak. But what if it's actually the most liberating idea you'll ever come across? We're talking about the philosopher Albert Camus and his revolutionary idea of the absurd.
Right. And that's a statement that just stops you cold, doesn't it? It sounds like the ultimate dead end, the kind of thing you'd expect from someone in the depths of despair. But here's the thing about Camus. What if this wasn't an endpoint for him? What if it was just the starting line? And there it is, the big twist. What if the idea that life has no built-in meaning isn't a curse at all, but an incredible gift, a profound liberation? That's exactly what we're going to unpack here.
So first things first, let's clear up a huge misunderstanding. When Camus talks about meaninglessness, he is not, and I repeat, not talking about giving up or falling into despair. In fact, he's arguing for the exact opposite.
This is the absolute key distinction to make. Most people hear life has no meaning, and they immediately think of nihilism, this idea that nothing matters, so why even bother? But that's not Camus at all. For him, that was just giving up. He called it philosophical suicide. Instead, he talked about the absurd. And the absurd isn't a conclusion. It's a conflict. It's a permanent state of tension.
So what is the absurd? Well, picture this. On one side, you have us, human beings, and we are just hardwired to search for purpose, for some grand reason behind everything. And on the other side, you have this vast, cold, silent universe that gives us nothing, no answers. The absurd is that gap. It's the clash between our desperate need for meaning and the universe's complete silence. And Camus' brilliant insight was that this isn't a problem we need to solve. It's just the truest description of what it means to be alive.
Okay, so if we accept that this tension is just part of the deal, what are we supposed to do about it? Well, Camus laid out 3 possible responses, but he believed only one of them was truly honest. So here they are. Response 1, physical suicide. You just check out of the game entirely. Response 2, what he famously called philosophical suicide. This is when you take a leap of faith into a pre-packaged belief system, a religion or an ideology that hands you all the answers. And then there's the third path, revolt.
Now, for Camus, those first 2 options were basically cop-outs. They're just different ways of escaping the tension, instead of learning to live inside of it. One gets rid of the person asking the question, and the other just pretends the question has already been answered. He argued that the only courageous way forward, the only honest way, was the third one. And to explain this powerful idea of revolt, he used probably the most famous metaphor in all of modern philosophy, the ancient Greek myth of Sisyphus. This one sentence, this is the heart of it all. You probably know the story. Sisyphus is cursed by the gods to push a massive boulder up a hill for all eternity, only for it to roll right back down every single time he nears the top. It is the definition of a pointless, repetitive, meaningless task. And yet, Camus hits us with this. We have to imagine him happy. The question is, how on earth is that possible? His happiness comes from his complete, conscious acceptance of his reality. He's not fooling himself. He has 0 illusions. He's not hoping that this time the rock will stay at the top. And in that moment of pure clarity, as he walks back down the hill to start all over again, he is utterly free. The gods gave him the punishment, sure, but he owns the struggle. The boulder is his, the hill is his, the effort, the pushing, it all belongs to him. And that is revolt. It's not about fighting the gods or trying to change your fate. It's an internal, private decision to look the meaninglessness of it all square in the face and to find your purpose in the very act of pushing the boulder anyway. This powerful idea of revolt is what transforms the absurd from some depressing philosophical problem into something genuinely positive. This is how we get back to it being the best news you'll ever hear.
So often, we experience this lack of a cosmic purpose as a kind of injury, right? Like something's missing or that we're broken. But Camus asks us to reframe that entirely. It's not a void. It's not a wound. It's an open space. It's a blank canvas. And in that wide open space, without any pre-written script from the universe, you are completely, and maybe even a little terrifyingly, free. And what does that freedom really look like? Well, it means you're free from the obligation to live out a meaning someone else handed you. You're free from the weight of culture or family telling you what your purpose should be. You're free from that nagging guilt that you aren't fulfilling some grand cosmic plan. And because of all that, what you choose to value, what you decide to build in that space, That is authentically 100% yours. No one can take it away.
So living an absurd life really breaks down into these three things. You have revolt, that's the daily choice to stay aware, to not run and hide from the truth. Then you have freedom. That's when you let go of needing the universe to give you a thumbs up for your choices. And finally, you get passion. This is the payoff. It's a hunger for life, for experiences that just explodes in you precisely because you realize this is all you get. You live more intensely because you're not saving yourself for some reward that's coming later.
And this is so crucial to understand. Camus wasn't some sad philosopher holed up in a dark room. The man loved life. He loved swimming, football, theater, friendship. His philosophy came from a deep, almost physical appreciation for what it feels like to be alive. So accepting the absurd doesn't make you withdraw. It actually creates an even bigger appetite for more life.
All right, so let's bring this home. How do we take this out of the world of philosophy and actually apply it to our own lives right now?
The single biggest takeaway is this: stop waiting. So many of us go through life feeling like our purpose is out there somewhere, like a hidden treasure we just need to find. Camus would say, no, you've got it all wrong. Your purpose isn't something to be discovered. It's something to be made. You build it day by day with your own two hands. And once you get that, your whole perspective can shift. If there's no big payoff or ultimate meaning coming later to justify everything, then this moment right here, it's not a rehearsal, it's not a waiting room. This is it. This is the destination.
Because the real tragedy at the end of the day isn't a meaningless universe. The real tragedy is spending your one precious life so busy looking for a prepackaged meaning that you miss the actual, messy, beautiful life that's unfolding right in front of you the whole time.
So, I'll leave you with this question. We all have our boulder to push. Our work, our relationships, our daily struggles. Knowing full well that the universe doesn't really care and offers no guarantees, can you decide that the pushing itself is enough? Can that struggle be where you find your meaning, your freedom, and even your joy?